Hi everyone, my name is Queen Cora, and in this video I'm going to talk about how the blacks are God's true chosen people. When I say blacks, I'm referring to the blacks that live in North America as well as South America. I'm also referring to the people of the different islands like Cuba, Jamaica, Barbados, etc. This information will be coming from different sources, but our main source will be the King James Bible. I like to use the King James Bible because it is the oldest one that we easily have access to in the U.S. So let's get into it. In the book of Isaiah, chapter 1, verse 3, it says, "The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib." They're talking about the donkey. But Israel doeth not know, my people doeth not consider. This scripture is saying even animals know who they belong to, but Israel has no clue in this situation. I would say the children of Israel, they don't know. They're clueless. This is true for black people. They do not know who they are, nor where they come from. The end of this verse says that they do not consider, and it's true. They don't consider who they are. They don't consider who they are or why they go through what they go through. They don't ask why they are so different than all other nations. Blacks have had their identity stolen. And the book of Revelations, chapter 2, verse 9, is proof of it. It says, "I know thy works and thy tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are the Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan." So clearly, this verse is saying a lot because the Bible itself says that the ones that say they are not really the real Jews. Okay? This verse also gives some key words that gives you clues on who this word was intended for. It says your tribulation and poverty. Black people around the world go through a lot of tribulation and know first thing about survival and poverty. And the ones that call themselves the Jews don't. From my understanding, they are some of the richest people of this era. So this verse has to be talking about them and not to them. So real quick, I want to go over a few definitions and some things that I looked up online to help in the understanding of this message. So I looked up tribulation, and it is defined as a cause of great trouble or suffering. The other says a state of great trouble. The other definition says uh, a state of great trouble or suffering. That sounds like the black journey or the journey of living as a black man or woman in this world. The next definition is blasphemy, which says that it's the act or offense of speaking sacrilegiously about God or sacred things. The other definition of it says it's profane talk. Going back to the verse, it says that they are pretty much talking, going back to that verse, it pretty much is saying that they are talking profanely by calling themselves the Jews. The next definition that I looked up was synagogue, which is a place of worship of Jewish people. But the word says that in the Bible it says that they worship Satan because it says the synagogue of Satan. Okay. I looked up Satan and it gave me, I looked up the definition of Satan and it gave me the devil, which by definition is the personification of evil. Now, we can go into back and forth with that, and that's a whole nother teaching. So for now, I just want to stay on the point that if you're black, your identity has been stolen. There is also a book called From Babylon to Timbuktu, and it is by an author named Rudolph R. Windsor, which is a good read. But in the fourth chapter, I'm sorry, the title of the fourth chapter is called The Original Black Jews. It talks about the origins of things and how Abraham was a black man, etc., etc. I looked up who Moses led out of Egypt, and it is highlighted or in bold it says the Israelites, which is very important for you to understand because that is a nation of people and not a location. It was not called Israel until 1948. That is stolen land. It was never called Israel until then. I also wanted to point out the different type of Jewish people. Okay, what they consider to be Jewish, the different type of Jewish people. They have the and excuse my pronunciation, but the Ashkenazis, or that they are the German Jewish people, and the Sephard. I'm saying it's all wrong, so they are pretty much the Hispanic Jews. Okay, the one from Spain. They're Spanish, Hispanic. Sorry, so you see the word up there. Okay, notice that these people are converted into this because they originate elsewhere and then claim to be descendants of a nation of people that come from an area connected to Africa. Okay, I need you to remember that the location of what they call the Middle East is truly connected to Africa. To further prove that the chosen people are the blacks of America, I want to go to the Song of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 5, where Solomon clearly says that he is black. He even says it again in verse 6. This is an important fact because Solomon is a part of the chosen nation. He is an Israelite, which means that they must be black, right? Okay. So at this point, I would say there are more verses or books and verses that would prove the point, but I want to take a small break here and I'll see you on part 2.